Different presentation that gives a different picture of what we're doing at Crown TV. So I'll start with just introducing what Crown TV is. So Crown Television is a privately owned TV station operating in Zambia. It's only 2 years old, and I'm the managing director of that television station. I'm a professional journalist of more than 14 years experienced in the broadcast industry. So we are currently operating in all provinces and districts of Zambia, only accessible on Topstar, channel 89, and also on our Facebook page, Crown TV Zambia, as well as our YouTube channel, Crown TV Zambia. So basically, I think I've done the introduction. So we can go to the third slide. Thank you so much. So, yeah. Additionally, it's the only TV station in Zambia that currently has a program deliberately dealing with women issues, profiling women, telling positive stories about women. So as a journalist, as I said, of 15 or 14 years experience, I had the opportunity to write news stories about women being battered, women dying in the act of gender-based violence. And I got 2 awards for that. Imagine being awarded for writing negative stories about women. So as a managing director, I told myself, I'll not entertain bad stories about women. The news team will do that, but as a manager, I will produce a program that will speak positively about women. And that's what Valor Woman has come to do. So, in my own belief, I say a woman can do anything. A woman can do anything, unlike a man who cannot do certain things. A woman can give birth, a man cannot give birth. So you can do anything. So hence my saying, if you can manage childbirth, you certainly cannot fail to manage an organization or an institution. That's my belief. And I think that's reality. Yeah, next slide. So this is the lady that presents the program. She's Esther Mwanza, one of our presenters. I produce the program, I look for guests, I write the questions, and direct the program. So Valor Woman, as we said, is a scripted program aimed at highlighting issues affecting concerning women. And it features only one woman at every given interview. So we run it every Friday at 20:45, and we give it a repeat the following day at 9 hours. So we are, in this program, we are encouraging and motivating women to rise to their full potential and be able to do what they have feared to do by reaching out to certain places where they felt they couldn't reach, owing to maybe cultural norms, owing to maybe their educational standard. And so we are opening a platform where other women that have risen beyond their challenges are telling their stories for others to be motivated, for others to be inspired and encouraged. And that's the main reason why the program is there. So it's an hours program, and it features women from different walks of life, whether farmers, civil society leaders, NGO leaders, government officials, and the like. So in the last 2 years, we have featured close to 200 women on the program, which I personally produce. And among the women that we have featured include our current Vice President, Madam Talina Mango, members of parliament, civil society leaders, as well as corporate leaders. But for the sake of this presentation, I've picked on 3 women that I want us to listen to, as we had captured them on Valor Woman. So the first woman we are going to listen to is Honorable Given Katuta, the first one. She's a member of parliament in Chienge constituency. Chienge constituency is in Luapula province of Zambia. This is the only woman to have become an MP in that particular constituency. So all along we've had men since Zambia's independence in 1964. And this is the only woman MP we have. Now, the unique story about this woman is that while she strived to get to the position that has previously been held by men, she was never considered for adoption by the ruling party and the other big political parties. And she stood as an independent person, and she scooped the seat. So throughout the adoption process, this woman had to endure sexual harassment. She had to endure, victimization at the hands of those that were in charge of adopting members of parliament. And so we can just listen a bit to a clip we got from the Vala Woman program. We got it on our Facebook page, but we can just listen a bit.
Person at parliament, I told my husband, I spat in his face, and I was about, yes. I mean, when you come to me, start advancing yourself towards me, you're telling me I'm cheap. So in other words, you're also cheap. So let me give you what is equivalent to your thoughts. That's my thinking. And it's us women to start telling these male folks that we are leaders and we're going to get this. You have to adopt me with or without. If somebody tells you sleep with me, record them. Put it everywhere. Put it everywhere. Say, this man is asking me to sleep with him in order for me to get adopted. People respect you. They say, now we have leaders. We have female leaders who are going to lead the nation. Even when you go to apply. Yeah. Don't use the money. And don't let anyone touch your body. If immediately you allow that, you've opened the door. Let people see you in the newspapers or on the social media or anywhere that you were trying to protect your body.
Ended up
Spitting in his face. And most of these men are married men. Then the wife should ask him what happened or scratch his face. Diplomacy does not work with, I'll use some word, with a pig.
So you have to get dirty. With the pig.
Diplomacy will not work because you want to get it, and somebody will come in to say, because you're a female, I'll intimidate you. I've got muscles. I'll intimidate you. Okay, I don't have muscles, but I need to deal with you, sir, in order for me also to get it. That's where we're missing it. As women, we want to say, okay, Pauline, you say, no, I can't do it. My makeup will be messed up. Politics is where you see the one wearing this shirt. You don't button up. You pull your sleeves up. You say, okay, this man thinks he's a man, but for the sake of me proving to the world that politics are meant for human beings, I have to run this race.
Okay, so that's our woman MP. So this woman had an encounter with this male person who was in charge of the adoption process, and this person made sexual advances towards her, and she spat in his face, and she says, I will not allow a man to, bring me down to that level where they think they can give me a certain favor when they have, sexual advantage with me. So she's an MP. She withdrew her intentions to stand on a big political party and decided to go as an independent person. And she's won the seat twice, not on a ruling party ticket, but on an independent seat. So that's Honorable Given Katuta. Then I'll refer you to another lady. So there's this lady who's a senior police officer in Zambia. She's Doreen Mazoba. And this woman had been in a very abusive marriage. Her husband apparently was one of the senior police officers. And so whenever she wanted to report a case of gender-based violence against her husband, she never received any support because the man was there and she was low. She opted to get divorced, and now as we speak, she is the chief inspector in the Zambia Police Service, one of the senior most positions. And we featured her on the program just to tell her story through her experience in gender-based violence and how she overcame the acts of gender-based violence. And now she is one of the best activists in Zambia. She was part of the team that formulated the victim support unit that deals with gender-based violence cases under the police service in Zambia. And she was part of the women that were used by the US government in the formation of the one-stop border post against gender-based violence. And so we have a lot of stations in rural areas of Zambia where people can report cases of gender-based violence. And the government is already talking about fast-tracking cases of gender-based violence to avoid, the slow pace at which the law is applied against perpetrators. So she's one of the best activists that we have. And when we featured her on Valor Woman, she recounted how she suffered gender-based violence at the hands of her husband. So we can also listen to the video.
Should stay. It was like a simple imprisonment. And the first time he did it, it was difficult for me to even report, but I managed to report to my parents, of course, and I was like, okay, let me think about it. I shouldn't even report it to the police because I was a police officer, he was a police officer. Wow. So I was thinking maybe we'll manage ourselves. Yeah. But you are not first for sure. But when I saw that it went to extremes, then I refused to be a volunteer of violence. You just said that you think something before. Yes, so when you are abused for the first time, you are a victim. Yeah. And if you accept the victimization to go on and on, then you stop being a victim, you become now a volunteer. So for me, I never wanted to be a volunteer for violence. Wow. Yes, because I'm dealing with issues to stop crime. And gender-based violence is crime. And why should I accept a crime myself to start with? And how am I going to help another woman who is facing or who is a victim of that crime? Then I have to start with myself, protecting myself. So that is what made me to move out. It is something which is not very easy. I would tell you to say, I suffered violence for the past 10 years I was in the marriage. And I moved out the 11th year when I saw that this issue it is not taking me anywhere. It reached an extent where even my own children started becoming traumatized because of his abuse. So I was like, I don't want to groom criminals or people who would accept crime in future. The better is better I go and settle with them and nurture them in a godly manner. And that is what I decided. It is painful to leave marriage. It is not an easy thing. But where violence is concerned, why should I die in the name of marriage? That is what made me to move out, because I was almost dead. No, it wasn't easy.
So that's one of the police officers. We get back to the presentation. So this lady, some 2-3 years ago, she was out for peacekeeping mission in Sudan. And there she did a fantastic job. She went out and continued her gender-based violence activism, and she was awarded as the policewoman of that particular year in the peacekeeping mission. So she got an award in that particular year. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, so she got the award in 2020 at the United Nations peacekeeping mission, and basically she continues to be one of those great activists in the fight against gender-based violence. Next slide, please. We already alluded to her, so the last one. Let's go to the next one. The next one. Oh, there was a repeat. Okay, so what is the main objective of the program? Like I said, the main objective of this program is to inspire women to rise to their full potential. There's always a feeling that I cannot do it. There's always a feeling that I am going to fail. And so when we hear certain women telling us that they had this challenge, but they overcame this challenge, we get inspired, we get motivated, and that's the reason why we have this program called Valor Woman. It will share into what challenges a woman would have gone through, but it will still bring her out as a victor, as a person that has managed to overcome the challenges, to become a better person, a more powerful person in society. And that's the main objective of our program. We also feel that the program is meant to motivate women that regardless of their situation, they are alive to make a difference in their society, in their workplaces, and in their families. We also feel that the program is made to instill a sense of bravery that women can stand any given situation and still win. And lastly, the program's objective is to prove that women are not victims but victors, and also to show that women are not failures but achievers. And I think from the two women we have heard, we have seen that they are not failures but achievers. And so anyone listening to their stories will say, despite these challenges I'm facing, I can also do it. If she did it, I can also do it. And that's the main objective of the Valor Woman program. Next slide. Well, we end here, but before we end, there's a video from my vice president, which I thought would also inspire and motivate us. As we featured our vice president on the program, she brought out great stuff, and I would like to end my presentation with a video from my vice president of the Republic of Zambia. We have a female vice president.
Empowerment through credit facility and also access to market. Access to markets of where our products can be sold. We want you women to go into manufacturing. You can do it. We have to ensure there is better packaging. We pray that such things will happen. That is the empowerment, so that you can send your products anywhere, because you have imagination and vision. Government will enable you to push your vision.
Thank you so much. That's my vice president. Thank you so